Hello and welcome to the 2023 season of the Canadian Disc Golf Productions. To start off our season, the first tournament is Project 15 Open. If you haven't played Project 15, that's probably common, but I am Chris Brown and I'm here with
Wallace Kent.
Wallace Kent, that's right. We are getting the joy of commentating on Project 15.
The hidden gems of Ontario, one of the few.
Yes, indeed. Started off, we have Martin Hendel, one of the top-rated players in Ontario. Angel Leyland just moved back from BC, and he's also over 1,000 rated, so he'll be a joy to watch. Cam Zanini with the luscious locks doing great things. Right in his eye. Oof, looks painful. And then last player on our card is Jake Voskamp. Local, plays Project 15 probably more than anybody else, I'd imagine.
Yeah, his dad was caddying for him today, and I literally was talking to him as they were playing, and he was like, it's a 20-minute drive. It's the closest course to their house. So
I would love to have this course 20 minutes away from me. Hole 1 to start us off. The goal is just to get it up to this corner, putter mid-range, anything that gets you just past these mountain trees on the right, or you can go a little more aggressive and take a fast flyer, a Firebird, over staple fairway, whatever it is, and just try to play up onto this mound that you can just see here. Once you get to here, you then have to throw a tunnel shot through the trees, another, call it 300 feet, to try and get your tap in, your putt for your three for your birdie.
This hole's called the Stone Fence, and as you can see with all the stone walls, good name for it.
It's true.
One of the holes I would say that I do enjoy on the course, just because it's a tough starting hole. It's purely placement for that first shot. As you can see, Marty puts that one out and pretty much puts it perfect for that upshot.
Probably just an 80-yard dead straight. He doesn't not but trying to bite off too much. In years past, this mound on the left was really densely wooded. It was Gabe, the owner of the property, has done a lot of work to kind of clear it out a bit to give you more of a attacking route at the basket, but still not necessary to bite off too much. As it looks like we're going 3 for 3 here. Just trying to lay up to that corner. That one might be a bit long. If you get too long, it kind of takes away that hyzer flip up straight shot. Jake, the local, knows the local lines, is going, I think, a fast flyer high and right, trying to get around the trees.
And he pushes that one through and takes a cheater line, home local line, takes off big chunk of the hole.
Yeah, I don't know if he was trying to go around the trees. That's generally the goal, but it's wide enough that you can make it through. As I said, he was a little bit pinched off there by throwing it so far. So now he has to kind of flex something into this gap, which is fine.
A little bit nose up, lands right by that stone fence.
It's a cool little feature, the stone fence. It's just you can't keep anything low because anything that hits it, it's not going far.
There's Marty with a beautifully placed wraith. Puts him right up on the green.
That's beautiful, yeah. That's got to be almost tapping. That's a great 3 to get here on the first hole. So we were forecast for a lot of rain this day. It's still, mid-May, so it's a little bit cold, and a little bit rainy, so not exactly great conditions, but so far the rain has held off for us.
Andrew with a nice turnover there, puts himself up in a good place.
It's hard to get through those trees at the end. It's just your good shot could just catch a branch, catch a tree, and put yourself just outside circle, 60 feet kind of thing, and you just got to make the putt after that. Okay, Jake gets through. He's got to be just outside circle, looking at a nice putt.
Here's Cam, lining up looks like a forehand, trying to find a nice line up to the basket.
You find this happens a lot at Project 15, where your footing is just not optimal, you would say. A lot of Canadian Shield, hard rock face. You don't have much of a run up. You got to kind of protect yourself. So
puts that one up perfectly under the basket. Here's Andrew laying up.
Pretty good. Nothing bad. Nothing wrong with the 4 on the starting hole on the hole 1 here. It's just a tough hole all around. So you want the 3 obviously, but you're never mad with the 4. Ooh, as Jake for his 3 comes up a little high.
Just off the top. So everyone will be tapping in, taking their pars for this one.
I think Marty's got a tap in 3 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
that is correct.
Yeah, Marty with a great second shot. You can see it there. probably CTP even still. And then I think we have, there's Cam to tap in his par. Marty, one of the three birdies of the morning. It was just Isaiah, myself, and Martin who got this one. It's got to get lucky through your second shot. That was a cool little transition. Hole 2, 230 feet, dead straight. You got this big, not ravine. What word am I looking for here, Wally?
They call it the charged gap, a science physics term of an arc crosses a charged gap. Sort of.
So that kind of makes sense. Your goal is just to get it over the gap and have it stop before it pushes into the trees long. I think
this hole did play as the easiest hole of the first round.
That makes sense. It's 237 feet dead straight. Everybody should be having a putt at it, so I don't imagine any of these players will have trouble with this. You can also take a high, overstable kind of hyzer shot around the tree. It kind of plays safe. Maybe not as like parkable, but definitely a lot safer if you just go in that gap high right. I think everyone here has that touch ability that they can just, as Leyland gets close to that branch, that touch ability that they can just sort of pitch it over the gap into a putting distance.
Here's Cam, low line backhand, just makes it over the gap, but still safe. An achievable par from there.
Looks like we're going 4 for 4 on the straight gap with a putter. Doubt any of them are using a mid-range, but it's definitely a viable option. Maybe this one gets away from Jake. Tough to say where he'll be. He might be in the trees putting through. Something to say about these trees behind the basket as well is it's probably 15 feet behind maybe, so if you get caught up in there, it's really hard to make your putt coming back.
It is thick.
The branches just get in your way. They interfere with your legs, interfere with your arms, interfere with your face. As you can see here, I'm guessing this is Jake.
That's Jake, yep.
Jake here has to putt through this. Hard to see exactly what he has as he hits the double bounce to the park job. I don't know if he was trying to lay that one up or not, but he didn't look like he had much.
If I know Jake, layup is not in his definition.
Fair enough.
He does not know what that word means.
Leyland just gets that one in there nicely. As you can see, 15 feet from the basket, and he still has to get to a knee, so this is a tough one. Again, this exact spot I was talking about with stuff in your way. Oh, probably just keeping the disc up a little bit out of those bushes, pushes into the band.
That's up for his bogey.
That's a bogey for Cam. He's gonna kicking himself for that one, but as I said, I almost called it walking up to this that it was gonna happen.
Yep.
This is Marty's drive.
And this is Marty being Marty. Marty doing Marty things.
This is kind of what you expect, though. Just up and close, make your putt. This definitely is one of the you said it was the easiest hole in the day, right? Or at least in the morning.
It was for the first round, yes.
So we're playing 2 rounds today. This would be the morning round, and then the second round will be in the afternoon, obviously. So let's hope the rain can hold off. Hole 3. Hole 3, you just want to go at 850 feet. It is 2 really big throws to get to the basket. So there's 2 routes you can take. You can take as a righty, you can take a big Annie flex, try to push it out here past this juniper. And then the second shot would just be hyzer flip, anything to push you into the gap long and try and make your putt, but it's really far. So the safe play is if you want is you can chip a little hyzer out, pitch up, take your 4.
This did play as the second easiest hole of the round.
It did? Okay, and yeah, but I don't imagine there would be, this is a par 5 too. So the 4 is as simple as 3 chip hyzers and then a putt for your 4, so I can see why this would be one of the easier holes in the course. As you can see, to the left of the tree is the anti-flex route. Problem is, if you get out too far left, you're caught in those sumacs. If you're in the sumacs, you are literally just pitching out to the middle of the fairway again. So that's the one spot you cannot be on this hole.
Yep.
As Marty absolutely blasts that one down the fairway.
Puts his wraith out there again. Nice safe place to play it. It is deceiving, but that gap over this valley here is only 150 feet. So pretty much a player of every skill level, as long as they get a decent release, can get it over the gap. And you can see these pros are just giving it everything they've got.
Leyland's leaking that one a little bit left towards those sumacs. I don't know if he got into it or not, but he's going to be close. So probably not what he was looking for. Probably expecting a little more turn. Jake has all the distance to get there in two, so let's see if he can get a good move on this one.
And you can see the wind just gets a hold of it and just turns it right over.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to work itself out.
That kind of takes him out of the eagle territory, the eagle 3 territory, but he's good enough that I think he can get up and down, push it all the way up to the mouth, and pitch up for his 4.
For a player of his power, it is there.
Yeah. Ooh,
there's
can't
one
let someone go a little low.
Wow.
Okay, so at least Jake has good footing. There's a lot of times you can put yourself into these junipers, into the middle of the fairway, and then you have to kind of like take an awkward run up to get full power on your throw.
Just stands still, powers it, puts it near hole 4 Long's tee pad.
Yeah, that's the one spot you cannot be here. It's a wall of trees between hole 4 and hole 3. He's gonna have to think of something over, or hopefully he got a lucky gap. Andrew Leyland here pushing himself, yeah, as I said, right next to the sumacs. He's still got a run up, which is awesome, but he's on pure hyzer. That's all he can do now, because he doesn't have the ability to hyzer flip or flex something. That's great. He's still 150 feet away.
Misses that tree, puts himself in a nice place.
Can easily get up and down for his 4. This is Marty's drive. This is really far. This is where you're looking to be if you want to hit that gap and try and make a putt for your 3.
A nice gentle turnover, and you can see that thing just working. Gets caught up in the trees a little bit, but gets out there. Leaves himself in a good spot.
Yeah, see, look what Jake has. It's just absolutely like, really pinched off, just trying to get above and out. I think he did it perfectly, though. It's tough to say. I'm assuming he's in a good spot.
Here's Cam with his second shot.
This would be his 3rd shot, yeah?
Oh.
Second fairway shot. That looks great. It's hard to see how close that is, but that juniper is maybe 20 feet from the basket, so if he cleared the juniper and then some, that means he's definitely long. Marty's kind of got an awkward angle here. He could go gentle hyzer, but I think he's going to try and flex something in there. Yeah, that looks perfect. He's got to be inside 20 feet. Andrew Leyland from 150 feet away. Nice
beautiful
up and down.
Forehand. Boom. Right in the basket. Look at that. Taking the eagle.
Oh, yeah. Plastic playback here for Andrew Leyland with the forehand 3 on the par 5. For being really out of position, too, on his drive. For him to get the 3 is actually incredible.
Nice forehand link-up shot there right into the basket.
Was that a link or a tactic?
I think it was a link.
Yeah? Okay. I know he shows tactics, but I just didn't recognize the disc. So, this is Jake. He got unfortunate with wherever his disc landed, or maybe he just didn't give enough onto it.
Didn't get high enough. Got caught up in the trees in between the fairways.
Oh yeah, so it just came back too far. And now he's left himself even farther.
Playing some military golf right now.
Mm-hmm. Look how far Cam went on his upshot. Just bounced off that tree to his left, our right. Almost, Cam. That was a tough putt.
Leaves himself with about a 8-footer comeback.
Jake looking like he has to just lay this up or give it a soft hyzer run. Yeah, not too bad for what he had to deal with there. Marty here for his 4, I believe. Yeah, dead center, and Marty's not missing those. And then Cam will be taking his 5, I believe.
Jake tapping himself out.
Look at that. All right. What an exciting hole we had. A couple errant shots, one amazing shot, and then Marty just playing the hole to perfection.
Hole 4, another short little guy. 152 feet, par 3. Main goal is just miss the branch that we're going under right now and try and be above this little rock shelf, and you'll give yourself a good putt.
Yeah, they call this one the keeper for obvious reasons. That branch is in the exact height you want to throw every single shot. You can go above it, you can go below it, but neither are really the option you want. So if you go low, you have to worry about hitting the rocks, as Leyland throws a forehand here. And that's perfect right next to the basket. Yeah, so another plastic playback for Leyland. He's on fire. Yeah, it's a good play, though. Forehand, low power. You just got to make sure you're pushing it hard and get it over those rocks. Those rocks are probably 35, 40 feet away, so if you don't get it over them, you have a tough putt.
But you'll generally be left with an outside the circle, so you can definitely give it all you've got.
Sure, yep. I like to take the over the top here because it's just like distance control. You just need to float something high. I think Marty takes it above as well, but I could be wrong.
He does?
He does. So if...
it floats it right in there perfectly.
For those of you who weren't around for the inaugural tournament of this at this property in 20... as Cam catches the goalkeeper. Gets a good kick, though, right into the middle. For those of you who weren't around for the inaugural tournament there, this hole was Marty's starting hole in 2017, was it? It must have been 2017.
I believe so.
As Jake gives that a run. And this was Marty's first hole, and he aced it on his first throw of the tournament. So, couldn't replicate that. But Jake here definitely tries, as you can see on this plastic playback.
Marty has, since I've gotten into disc golf about 10 years ago, Marty has always been one of the staples in the province. Jake giving that a run. Definitely wants to make up for that bogey on the last hole.
Definitely. Leyland being being the only 3 on the day, or in the morning, on that hole 3 there.
That's good.
There's Cam laying up.
Jake went a little long. Let's hope he can make a putt here to kind of get himself back into this.
Just doinks it off the band.
It's a tough dude. He'll get it figured out.
He's there. He's hitting the basket.
Yep.
He doesn't.
Just hasn't dropped them yet. So far, I think that's 3 from circle's edge so far he's missed today, which he'll clean that up. He's a good putter. Cam comes in, drops in his 2. Sorry, he didn't drop in his 2. He hit the goalkeeper. That was for his 3.
Yes, it was. Andrew's tapping in his 2 there.
Leyland and Oz.
And Marty.
God, why did I call him Oz? That was strange. Had something else in my mind. Definitely Leyland and Marty. All right, hole 5. Before the tournament started, Gabe and Carl put out a reward or a bounty. What would they call it? A prize?
A bounty.
A bounty for anybody who could 2 this hole. This hole, excuse me. This hole says it's 383 feet, but it's uphill, so it's every single bit of a full rip for each one of these guys.
This is one of the harder holes on the course that played at .32 over par.
Yeah, and so that's why you can understand why they would expect. They think this hole is the hardest hole to birdie. It's a tunnel shot out the gap. The general play is a flippy disc out high left and just let it pan out the whole way. You can honestly take it anywhere you want. You can go flex forehand for some of our power forehands. Leyland lets that go really late.
Tree kick thankfully puts him back in the fairway. But one of the unspoken things about this fairway, about this hole that you did say, was that it was a tunnel, throwing out of a tunnel, and so for about the first 2/3 of the fairway, it's completely protected, and once your disc gets exposed to that wind coming across from holes 1 and 2's fairway, you can definitely get eaten up by that wind.
That's for sure. As I think Marty kind of experiences here as it just gets pushed out to the left on him. I don't know if he expected that to flip a little more, but either way, he's out there. He's probably in one of those junipers and just has a pitch up for his 3.
Low line drive from Cam here.
This looks really good if it holds it, and it just doesn't.
And you can see the wind out there by the basket.
Junipers are pretty hard to move, so if they're moving, the wind is coming pretty strong.
Strong sign that the rain might be coming.
No foreshadowing here at all. Jake has all the power that he needs to get there. If he can just get a nice rip out of this. Ooh, it goes right.
You can see it just keeps on going.
That's not going to be too bad out there. It's going to be wide open. So if there's a special rule for this tournament to protect the junipers and to protect the players, if you land in a juniper, you can now take casual relief back from the juniper up into the first available spot behind it. So I think that's what Leyland did there. He was in a juniper, brought himself out, and then just throws that one. He definitely left that short though.
Jake on the right side of the fairway, throwing out this forehand hyzer.
Trying to put that one in.
As you can see, the spotters are up on the scaffolding there, letting us know when it was safe to throw on hole 3. I want to give a big thanks to them.
Yeah.
Always appreciate spotters doing their thing.
Always.
Any volunteers?
Yes, indeed. Also spot on there. Cam with the Halo Polecat as the upshot. Still bagging that. I'd love to see it.
Marty with his upshot, trying to give it.
As you can see, 4 of the best players in the province, and none of them can really even get themselves up for a putt. Oh, as Leyland leaves that one short.
Looks funny, but yeah.
Cam's in the juniper. You do not need to take the optional relief back, so if you want to climb in and play, you are allowed to with the turbo putt. This is going to be awesome if he makes it. Oh, he dead centers
There
it
it
too.
is.
That was like pure confidence. That was great. I love when you make a turbo putt on camera. People, you've proven it to people you can do it. Leyland here for his 4. Not the bogey you want to take. It's a relatively straightforward hole. You can take your medicine and just pitch up, take your 3, but tries to get a little greedy. Ends up having to take the bogey.
And there's Jake tapping in par.
Only 1, 2 in the morning. And that was Mr. Abe Newfield. I don't know if he went backhand, forehand. I played with him second round, so
He's a
he went
power
back.
forehand.
He does, but he when I played with him the second round, he threw backhand. So I'm assuming he just had a heck of a drive, and just that. And that's it. That's how it makes that one tough. Though I wonder if he got his prize.
I think he probably did.
Yeah.
Hole 6, 547 feet. This hole has tee off from the... You tee off and wow, I am gibberish right now.
It happens. Look at all those trees get mesmerized.
This basket. Throwing down the fairway, it's a pretty open fairway. Going into the tunnel with the trees as the jail cell.
From here, it's wide open. You can see it. It's almost even reachable for the chance at the 2, but more likely you're just gonna get the 3 at 500 and something feet. The problem is hitting this gap. It's right there in front of you, and I think the smart play is just to chip up and get just through the first layer of trees, but you just get a little eager trying to go for it. And I think Cam's just trying to get through, and he does not. He's not very happy with that.
Kicks into the right side of the fairway. Loosely forested, but still will have a decent out.
It's a common theme at Project 15 that you don't want to be right or left of any fairways. So keep it in the fairway and you'll have a good round.
There's Jake putting it right up the gap. It's the first tree. At least it kicked straight back and didn't go off to the side.
Yeah, that one must have been a mid-range of something, a buzz of sorts or something like that, because it didn't look very fast. It looked like he was just trying to play for that layup. Leyland as well. I think this might be his glow pathfinder. Okay, that kick left isn't bad. He'll have a wide open look. Maybe a tree or 2 in the way. See, Jake hit the first tree, and he's probably 250 out, maybe.
Lining up this standstill forehand. Amy's it out and just flexes it right at the basket. So we'll be left with about a 20-footer.
20-footer on this basket is almost like a 40-footer, though. Cam pinched off. He has nothing. I think he's just going for the layup play. Yeah, just trying to get himself out.
Get as
Catches
much
another
distance as
tree.
he can.
Unlucky. Oh, but he's wide open.
He's got a line for it. He's got a bed.
I don't think he's going to try and put it in from here, but he is throwing for his birdie right now, I guess. So I think the idea is just to lay it up, take your par, and move on. Well,
Tries to take this flex line and
oh, that
goes a
could
bit
be
long.
anywhere. It does slope off past the basket, so that could be anywhere from 15 to 35 feet away. You can see it's starting to rain a little bit now, just enough to make everything a little bit damp. Is Marty's drive?
yes, it is.
Wow. Got right up there, maybe 80 feet, 90 feet away. I don't know if he's trying to put it in. He looks like Marty doesn't lay up, so it's a great chance. Now he's got a difficult putt for his birdie.
Tries to give it a bid right off the rock.
That's a tough one to run. It's probably elevated. Bottom of the basket is probably at 5 feet. If you miss it, you're not sticking around, that's for sure. Cam for his par. Yes, Cam. Way to keep it alive. Missed a couple putts already, but that one's huge. That's just one you have to just commit to, though. Either it's going in or it's going long. That's just how it is, because if you try to half and half this one, it's never going to work out.
Note that rock is pretty slick. As you can see, Andrew's putt is right there on the ground, and his just slid right off that rock, and it's right there.
Definitely one of the more memorable, least putting greens on the course. Every time I think about this course, this is one of the putts I think about, because it's always such a memorable one when you actually make it from distance. As Marty's lining up a 25-footer.
It does feel good when you make it. Classic Marty doing classic Marty things.
Good job, Marty. This is where Jake's second shot got to, eh? That's impressive.
Takes the birdie there, gets himself back down to even.
Yeah, so that he hit the first layer of trees and still managed to put himself within almost bullseye for the second shot. So from the short. So I guess I should say this. Right now we are playing the blue layout of Project 15. The blue layout is alternating long, short, long, short, long, short until around hole 13. So this is hole along because it's hole 7. Hole 8 will be played from the shorts.
Hole 7 is called the pine box. Lots of big pines in the green, like a coffin. Get it?
I can definitely see it. It's definitely hard to penetrate in once you get up to the basket here. You got to kind of get lucky at this point here. But if you hit one of those trees, you're looking at a circle 2 putt for your birdie. So hit the gap, get to the pine box, and then make your putt. If you get off early left or right here, there is no saving you. You're basically just pitching back to the fairway. So the goal number 1 is just hit the gap, past that, and take what you can get.
Over the past few years, they've taken a few trees out on the right side to give more of a hyzer approach as well as straight up the gap.
Yeah, I don't see the hyzer approach, I'll tell you that. But it's a work in progress. Gabe has done wonderful things on this course. This place is, every year I come back and am more and more amazed at its majesty.
It never stops improving, and he never stops working on it.
Mm-hmm.
One of those hidden gems, and Gabe is one of those people in the sport that never gets enough thanks for all the work that he does.
For sure. Jake lets that go in a little bit early, gets into that spot where there is almost no direct line to the basket. Not impossible, but definitely he's going to have to make some magic happen. Cam doesn't usually miss these types of shots. It's kind of his, like,
bread and butter.
Yeah, that straight, kind of smooth shot is what Cam is so good at. It's what's made him.
Kicks off one of those defending trees, but stays on the fairway. Be left with a tough putt.
Mm-hmm. Is that flippy enough? Ooh, okay.
Just gets away from a little kick at the end.
Yeah, it's tough to say. That left side near the basket does have a lot of skinny trees that he's gonna have to fight with. What's Jake got here?
A wall. He's got a wall.
Yeah.
That kick puts him directly back center in the fairway.
It's probably could have done better, but I think if you're trying to get up and down, that's the risk you have to take. Jake has to go to another flex forehand here. The left gap is pretty big, but any right kick puts you into some danger. No problem for Jake though.
Right there to tap in his bogey.
Probably 35, 40 footer. Nice.
Smashes that one.
Oh, see what I mean with the little tiny trees off to the left? I wonder what kind of gap he has looking through here. Oh, huge gap apparently, as he weaves and dodges through them. This is Marty's drive. Got all the way through. That's really impressive. It's probably 20 feet from Marty. Normally a lock, so wouldn't be surprised if he gets this. Ooh, a little low, but dead center. Can't argue with that. And that's a typical Marty putt. Just over the cage.
Yep. Lots of spin, lots of power.
Jake for his 4. That's not the front 7, which I think Jake was expecting, nor Cam for that matter, but Cam kind of squeezes it back. Hole 8 is from the shorts. As we said, it is alternating. You are teeing off from probably a quarter to a third the way up the fairway from the longs, and you're just trying to get it to the right or left if you have to of I think they're fir trees. The fir trees in the middle of the fairway, and then play your second shot up the gap here.
Number one goal is don't saw it off, and if you throw a forehand, make sure you get the distance to go around the bend. This is all about placement for this drive and just getting to that corner. Once you get there, you'll be able to work that nice straight fairway down to the basket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see those fir trees on the left, most of the way up the fairway there. If you just squeeze past those on the right while turning right still, like this is doing, that's perfect. Maybe a bit pinched right, but that is fantastic. That's exactly what you're looking for here. You don't need much more than that. I don't think that was max distance for Marty, but start going farther and you start putting the distance trees into the equation. Ooh, this one looks great from Cam.
Trying to bite off a big chunk of the fairway.
Yeah, Cam.
It's tough to say if that's too far right as well, but it looked perfect. That probably plays at 350 feet, I'm guessing, maybe 330 to where he just landed. Ooh, Leyland comes a little bit inside, but gets a little friendly kiss. Pushing back to the center left of the fairway, past the fir trees.
And he's pretty much in the perfect spot. Push it straight up the fairway.
See what Jake here can do for us. Is that a mid-range?
No, it was a driver, but it gets over on him, and it just gets into the bush line. He's on the right side of the fairway, a little bit pinched off.
As you can see, I'll take Jake's opinion on anything out here. He definitely knows the course well, so he knew he was a bit far right and wanted to go left, but not the end of the world. He's probably have a line up and down if he can just hit this gap.
Puts it through those 2 birch trees. Nice
Yeah.
hyzer. Oh, the trees are not his friend today. Why are trees?
Gets unlucky there. One tree to miss and happens to catch it. Leyland here with the kiss off the trees puts himself left side, but it's tough to see how his line looks through the trees there, but it looks wide open if he can make it through the first few.
A little bit low, but takes off a big chunk. Leave himself with a decent run for the basket there.
Yeah,
Trying to chase that birdie.
Yeah, you don't want to end up low here because the rocks of the Project 15 are unforgiving. They never give you the skip you want to get, and they always just stop your disc. So
If anything, they push you backwards.
yes, so keep it in the air. Try to drop it in next to the basket as opposed to sliding it up.
Here's Cam.
Ooh, did himself a little right. Maybe just a bit of a misrelease, maybe missed the angle, missed the height, who knows, but he's got a putt. This is Marty's drive. This is fantastic. All the room to the right to hyzer one in there, and he takes a straight at it approach. I can't falter Marty for his approach, but
Nope.
that's perfect, so hard to argue. Jake, after catching the tree, has a 50-footer to save his, I want to say his 3. Yes, his 3.
Kick off that rock, as I said, just further than it was before.
I think he's got that, though. That's probably inside bullseye. Leyland's got this tree in his way for his 3. And just leaves it left. Not too bad. Yeah, so what Cam got to, it's 25 feet right. He's probably got this in the bag. Yeah. Drops it in low left.
Nice birdie for Cam.
That was Jake's 4, his par. As a par 4, this hole is incredibly fun. Really gives you the option for the birdie, but still saving it if you get off the fairway a little bit. As Leyland taps in his 4, I think.
It was the middle of the pack for averaging of scoring, sitting at a minus .18.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that. Probably equal amount of birdies. Well, probably not actually. Probably more double bogeys and a couple bogeys in there to even it out. But there's lots of birdies. So Alright, we got the last hole of the front 9 here. Hole 9. This is the few years ago. I remember Oz Ace. This one. This is where that Oz thing was coming in earlier, but this is the Oz Ace one. But I think it was a shorter basket or the shorter tee box. So from the longs, it's playing at 350 feet. It's a hyzer flip, straight at the basket. Don't go left, don't go right, as per usual. Marty looks like he's hyzering out a little early, but that'll give him a circle's edge putt for his 2. You would expect this one to be birdie quite often because a 350-foot hyzer flip straight shot should be in everybody's bag on this card.
Surprisingly, it shot over par at plus .11.
Really? That's surprising. It's right there in front of you. You don't even need to attack the basket. You can just push it out and have it finish left and make your putt. So I'm surprised to hear that, but
Narrow fairway, lots of trees, one kick, and you're trying to play that chase game.
that's true. It was
And as you can see, Andrew just described that by literally not hitting anything.
yes, indeed. I don't know where he's going to have over there. There is lots of trees left, but there are gaps. So one more to see if they can hit the gap like Marty did. I'm assuming this is a buzz or something like that from Jake here. Some sort of semi-flippy mid-range. Ooh, does not get enough on it.
But the friendly kick that puts him up the fairway.
That's not bad. It'll be circle one, maybe just outside circle 1, looking for the 2 with the fortunate kick.
Cam with his lucky kick back into the center of the fairway.
Okay.
Puts that up there.
Yeah,
Gonna leave himself with a short putt for par.
Out of his hand, I thought he left that too straight, but it was a relatively straight disc, so great shot from Cam. Look what Leyland put himself into. This is dangerous.
10 feet off the fairway, and you're trying to find your way out.
Yeah. Oh, hits the first tree coming out. Got lucky to get through, but now he's got a 45-50 footer to save his par. Oh, just below. Kind of looked like it went through the pole there, but a little bit higher, and that was dead. That would have been perfect. So can't fault him for the chance. But he's gonna be hating that 4 because he was off to a good start. Still 3 strokes behind Marty.
Here's Jake lining up that birdie putt. Smashes that one.
That was huge. That was a huge putt. Didn't even have time to walk it in before we got the camera cut. That had to be at least 45 feet. This is Marty's drive. A lot closer than I thought he'd be. Maybe 25 feet to the left. Oh yeah. still baffles me how he puts like that. It's so incredible, but it works for him, and it's gets lots of pace, lots of speed. If it's on target, it's going in every time.
He's been putting that way since I started disc golf when I first met him. So
Yep.
10 years of muscle memory for sure. He's definitely got more than his 2,000 hours required.
Then Cam comes in. Cam comes in to drop in his 3. Leyland will be tapping out his bogey. Still a surprise that this hole played as tough as it did, but 350 feet of dead straight, I guess, is very difficult. They say it's the hardest shot to throw in disc golf.
And there you have it. Front 9.
Yeah, that was definitely eventful. We had a lot of ups, a lot of downs. Leyland's throw in. Marty pretty much birdied, I think, 8 of the front 9, or no, I think it was 8 out of 9. Yep, 8 down through 9 holes.
We got Marty finishing at -8, Andrew at -3, Cam at -1, Jake with that last putt on hole 9 to get himself back down to even.
Yeah, so as I said, Marty coming off strong with the 8 down. Leyland was doing real well, but taking a couple bogeys that kind of held him back. Cam and Jake kind of limping along. They're probably picking up for the back 9. That's it for the front 9. So we'll have to see you again when you come back for the back 9.
I'm Wally.
And I'm Chris.
See you next time.